Renee Bays,
Rakim, John,
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 Renee Bays,
Rakim, John.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Podcast of Color, where four trash bags come together and make some sense of this sick, sad world.
Four trash bags of what?
Color. Oh, what did I
Bingo.
say? Did I say
Not
something?
that, but we
Oh.
love you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
Okay.
that's right. Trash bags of color. Wait, what was it?
Oh, I guess I didn't say color. Did I not say color?
Oh,
Nah, but it's
I
okay.
missed that. Well, there you
Okay,
go.
well,
It must be like
today's-
one of those things where, like, if you see the words and there's like one word that's like left out, you still get the meaning of it, so you just assume it's there.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like when you tweet
Yeah.
something and then you go back and you're like, ooh, I messed that up, but it already has
Right.
a ton of retweets. So you're like, do I delete it and fix
Right.
it? Or
Do I show my ass on Twitter? Okay, go ahead, John. Sorry,
you have though.
not on Twitter.
Oh.
I try to keep it professional on there.
So today is three trash bags again, and let's see. I'm John, and we're going to talk about what the rapture isn't in a few minutes.
Oh, Father.
Cannot.
I'm Baze, and mi agua es claro. I'm learning.
Yay!
Come through Duolingo. 39% fluent. Yes.
Yeah.
I was 41% according to Duolingo, but I dropped down because I took a couple of days off. So
But Baze, you're 39% fluent, but 100% clear, so that's good.
100% clear, sweeties. Yes. 100% claro. Mm-hmm.
¿Estás entiendo? A mí?
Sí.
Oh, yes! Come through.
Yes. Sí.
See.
Sí. Sí.
Oh my god, let's stop because this is very close to Insecure when she was like, see bitch, and Molly was like, she's like,
No, remember when she was like, and she was like, ooh, that was racist.
she was like, oh, he's Latino.
She was like, let me
She's
calm
like, see
myself
bitch.
down, bring it back.
She's like, ooh, yikes.
Yeah, we're not.
Oh,
going to.
God.
My
I mean, we're going to be talking about that later, huh? Our problematicness.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
My name is Mark. Mark Rex.
Wow.
Freudian slip. My name is Rakim, and I am full in both body and spirit.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Wait, isn't
No,
that what
for
they
real, I
say
had like
about
3
wine?
burritos right before we recorded, so like
Oh,
I'm bloated.
but I can't. I just had Chipotle.
Who said that?
Wait, have you guys seen that meme? No. When
No,
there's-
were you not talking about
No,
like sex?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Anyway,
So
Look, whenever John starts talking about sex, I just be like,
you're like, oh, it's like, let me go
and
to
I go to
Twitter.
my happy place. I'm just kidding. We all talk about sex like that.
right?
We literally all do it.
Define
Anyways,
we.
What's
the question of color
color
this week
Mhm.
is so we discussed this before we started recording, but the question of color this week is, if there was a purge, what would you do realistically? And I mentioned this right before we started recording, and John thought we were talking about the rapture.
When Bates had asked the question, I was like, well, we can't really do anything about it, right? Because like it's not up to us. Like when he asked the question in my head, I was like, well, I guess we just go with it. Like
The equations appeared in front of his face. He's like,
Yeah, he
what?
was like, wait a minute.
well, 'cause, like,
What comes after 5?
what am I?
The letter 4.
Okay, so
By the
I had like
letter
I had like
four.
a really religious. Oh, I still have a really religious aunt, but like growing up, she would make us watch those movies where like, what were they called? Like Left Behind or something. That like,
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh,
Christian
that
media
terrified the
would, like-
shit out of me.
I'm triggered.
Yeah.
Nope.
and
Don't
so
ever
like,
teach your children about that.
yeah, and so I was watching those videos, and I thought that's what you were referring to, and I was like, well, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be left behind here, like,
Wow.
hang out in LA and see what happens.
Fun
I don't
fact: I was actually traumatized. I mean, I think I'm probably shared this story a million times on here, but I was actually very traumatized when my mom told me that when I started learning about the rapture. And I'll never forget one time she left me at home Or she would drop me off. She would pick me up on her lunch break after school in elementary school, and then drop me off at home. And one day she was late coming back from work, and I was just like, "Oh no, 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 no." And I
we will not have it.
We will not have it.
We will not have it.
God.
And I went outside and was running around the streets looking for my mom, freaking out because I thought, you know how they say, like, all the good people would just disappear. Like, their clothes would just be left behind. So I was, like, going out, and, like, I lived in, like, a neighborhood. So, like, it was just houses. So I had to, like, walk out a little bit so that I could see, like, where the street traffic was at, so that I could, like, make sure that there was not crashes happening. Like, I was just freaking the fuck out. Like, I stressed out so much. Like, I used to ask my mom, so, like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm not even 10 yet, right? So, like, that means that I'm good to go regardless, right? Like, no matter what I did, I can go to heaven, right? Like, I'm good, right? Because, you know, apparently children could sin, right? Because children are too young to really know or understand. But I was, like, trying to work out the math, because I was like, at what point am I considered an adult by Jesus? Because that's what I just need to know right now. Anyways, that was a very traumatic time for me. Please don't teach your children about the rapture, because that is not fun. I don't care how religious you are.
Or the book of Revelations in general.
Nobody needs that. Just tell them that God is love, and leave it at that, please.
Truly. I know they used to tell me in my religious school, they would be like, "Oh, if you blaspheme God, like, you're automatically going to hell." And then my brain automatically would say, "Damn, Jesus is shit." And I'd be like, "No, no, 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 no."
Oh no!
Like, my brain would automatically do it. I'd be like, "No, I don't mean it."
Religion is so traumatic.
It really is.
So traumatic.
It is.
Oh my God. But
okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so what would you guys do?
Now that we know the difference between purge and rapture, or now that I know the difference,
I was going to say we.
Well, okay, I'll go first. I'm kind of like a scaredy cat, and you know, like, especially like with video games and stuff, I'm the one who's like, who'll find a good hiding spot and like just hope that no one finds me and kills me. So even though that strategy doesn't work in video games, I think I'm still gonna try that in real life. I don't know why, but I'm gonna try it and like find a good spot and hope nobody finds me. Because how long is the purge? Like 12 hours?
I actually never saw the movie.
I don't know.
No
actually,
idea.
I think it's 24 hours actually.
God,
but I just know it happens at night.
Yeah, it lasts
or
for
maybe
a couple
12
hours, and I don't know. I'm like hoping I can like write it out. That's all. What would you guys do?
I would probably. I said I was probably like breaking. I do something boring, like break into the museum and just like walk around the museum at night and like see all the cool shit by myself, or hide.
But Baze,
I just don't see myself being
violent.
violent. I don't see myself being violent. Like I don't really. Actually, if I'm pushed to it, like if a bitch want to come and try me, then definitely like they can get it popping. But otherwise, I really don't see any point in like doing any of that. Like I would probably just either go hide somewhere or I would go to like a museum or something and just be in the museum by myself.
But
okay,
the thing is, everyone's trying to kill each other, right?
Well, it's not necessarily kill. It's just
do whatever you
I'm
want.
just saying realistically, like I'm not going to be out here trying to kill people because that's just not my heart. So,
good answer.
Yeah.
Unless I have to.
Well, I'm going to break the law.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I am breaking into Beyonce's vault. I'm stealing everything. I'm taking the footage. I'm taking the unreleased tracks. I'm taking the hard drives. I'm taking the plans for the On the Run tour. I'm stealing someone's tickets. And then I'm gonna hide it somewhere and then tell no one about it. So that's exactly what I would do. I would go to the Beehive Vault. I know she has one. Or I would go to her wig fridge and break in and take all the wigs and then sell them after on the internet.
Why are they in a fridge?
You wouldn't do that because then Beyonce would hate you.
She wouldn't know it was me.
You selling it on the internet? They would track you. The Beehive would get you.
I'm not a dummy. It wouldn't be under my name. I do it under like someone I don't like or whatever.
Girl, you know there's some members of the Beehive that are like experts in like tech and shit and will like track you the fuck down.
Listen, I guarantee.
I feel like what was it, the SNL skit, the Beagency? Like
yes,
I could see that, like an
Beagency.
agency of just Beyonce shit.
I feel like they could solve the Russia collusion problem in a week. Like,
Probably,
give the Hive,
probably.
please let Donald Trump say one thing about Beyonce. It's a wrap. Like, impeachment done. Like,
Right? Oh
please.
my God, I need him to say something about Beyonce now because I'm ready.
The Hive
to
is
be
ready. Like, remember? Do you remember when Beyonce got snatched off a stage off the stage in Brazil? At all? That's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing.
I do
what?
remember that. But wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, because so I was just gonna say because some of the Hive is crazy because some of the other people in the Hive and like her security guards like automatically like snatched her back on the stage, and I feel like the Hive plus the security guards like chopped that boy's body up into pieces or something. They're like, "Don't you dare pull her ass off!" Like,
well, no, she stopped it. She was like, no, leave him alone. Didn't she?
but because they were gonna kill him. She said, no. She said, wait. He was excited. Calm down. Like, I know.
Well, you know what had happened was he didn't try to snatch her off the stage. What happened was he tried to hug her, and then somebody pulled him back, and he was trying to hug her, so he was holding onto her, so she was snatched back into the crowd because of that. He wasn't trying to snatch her into the crowd. He was trying to hug her, and he was like climbing up onto the stage.
Well, security was like, we will not have it. We will not have it.
From the mountain.
You cannot protect your
own
own
father. Are we just gonna do this every week?
Yes.
So actually, Black Panther is number 1 at the box office 5 weeks in a row. So shout out to that. Anyway,
yes.
What do you?
Yeah.
What do you guys think Renee would do during the purge?
Go
Take
to
down the
24-hour.
government. Oh, not go to 24-hour fitness. You know what? He would take down the government and then go to 24-hour fitness in celebration.
That's what I was. I was gonna say take down the government because that's our anti-capitalist hunty.
Him and all the other radical Bay Area queers would get together.
I feel everything that Renee would say would land us in jail or in an investigation room in the FBI. So I'm just not going to say that.
All right. Well, we
at
will be
CIA,
back.
at the NSA, at government, at the branches of government, at the Supreme Court. We love America. We would never. We love the flag.
Anyways, we will be back with the Minutes of Color. So,
Trash, 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 trash.
hola, buenas,
Oh my God.
wait, buenos noches. Yes, come through, Espanol.
But it's gonna be in the morning when people are.
Oh, buenos dias. Wait, is it buenas noches? It's buenas noches and it's buenos dias. Yes, okay.
Do you know how to say good afternoon, Baze?
Buenos tardes.
Yay!
You know, I know a little bit. I know poquito Espanol. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. I really am struggling here, but you know what? It's all good. I'm gonna get there one day.
Let me call Curly and help you out because this is.
You're putting in the work. That's all that matters.
I'm trying at least.
Yeah.
So, what have we got here? First on the docket, Janae Aiko and Big Sean have shot down all the rumors. I'm not gonna read everything that Janae Aiko said, because she's said a lot on the subject. But basically, y'all are coming up with fan fiction, and ain't nobody cheating in here. And you know what? Good for them. Good for them. I wasn't like I was disappointed when I read about it. I was like, oh, because they're like a cute little couple, and you know, I don't know. I really don't care either way, but you know, you never want to hear about people breaking up. It's never nice. Unless they're like obnoxious about their relationship, and then I'm kind of like, Anyway,
I just think a ton of people you said I don't like to hear people breaking up, and I think a lot of people just look at you and saying, well, I do.
That's true. You know what? I mean,
No.
I've heard, and I don't follow either one of them. I've heard that she's kind of insufferable about their relationship. Like, ooh, give me that dick, daddy, and da-da-da-da, and like talking about his
on Instagram.
When people are like that, I like honestly like I low key be like when they break up, I low key be like I be chuckling. I get a good little chuckle. I know, but I know that's wrong, and that's why I don't actively wish for anything to happen because, you know, I'm in a relationship and I don't want anything to happen in my relationship. I don't want to bring any bad karma on me and what's going on over here. But that being said, when people have like back and forth conversations with their partner on social media instead of just texting each other and like do all this extra ass shit, I do be like, wow, when is this over? Because I'm tired.
There's a lot.
Performative.
It's very performative, and it feels like you're overcompensating for something. But you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna read two big. So I'm on Big Sean's Instagram, and I'm gonna read two comments.
Okay.
On a photo he posted on February 8th, she said, "I want to hump that face. How you look at me right before I sit on your face, like a pure baby angel."
Oh no, not a baby and the angel. Father God.
I'm just like, oh,
She could have kept that all the way to herself.
I mean, if it is what it is, I
remember
guess.
when we saw her?
They're not
remember when we saw her in Hollywood at that diner?
Yes.
I didn't even.
She's so small.
She is so small, and all I could think was like, wow, she's getting Big Sean's dick. Wow.
Like, how?
It's like she's got the mind of a master, like the mind of a mastermind. Like her. Oh my God, like her brain is just amazing.
She
Would
has
you guys
the pussy
say
of
that-
one too
Yeah.
to handle all that.
Is she the Armin Rizzo of females?
No,
Oh,
she's not.
no.
She's not. Let's not.
No,
let's not give her
don't
that.
do-
I don't know if there is a female version of the Armand Rizzo. I don't know if that's possible. I do. I do know that I'm just cracking up because you just reminded me that he blocked me on Twitter.
Wait, what did you tell him again?
Okay, so when I first got on Twitter, and I didn't, you know what? When I first started using Twitter, I really honestly just was like, oh, you could just say whatever. And like, I didn't know that, like, I never thought that like celebrities are, well, he's not a celebrity, he's a porn star, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I never thought that people like actually like looked at the things like in their mentions and all that other shit. And so I was like, wow, I don't think that I think this was like this was like in 2016. So I was like, I don't think that there's a video in 2015 that I watched that didn't have Armand Rizzo in it, and he blocked me. I just was saying, girl, you are very prolific. You know, you have a wide body of work.
Not wide.
Yes, he stays booked. I mean, and I mean, like, even on my Vidster, if he's not in like a professional scene, I'm seeing all kinds of like Xtube users posting their sex videos with him in their hotel rooms, and you know,
His resume is versatile.
what?
So his resume is very versatile.
Yeah, he needs a residency in Vegas.
I see what you wait.
What?
Not a residency.
That's a compliment.
Oh my God. He opens for Britney Spears.
Yes.
He literally opened.
Armand Rizzo
himself
opens
up.
for Britney Spears. We need to stop. I've heard that he's very nice. I've heard he's a very sweet person.
Man, I'm sure he is, but you're right. He does stay booked.
No, and honestly, I don't like think that there's anything wrong with that. I just was like cracking up because I was like, I literally like will scroll down my Vidster and you're like in every other video because he like is that much. Like you never really see porn actors in that many like scenes in 1 year.
No, you're right.
It's very like
absolutely right.
He
I
works a
think
lot.
for the purge, I'm gonna hide inside Armin Rizzo.
Oh God, I'm tired. I'm so tired. So
It's apparently really safe. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, I'm dead.
So TMZ is reporting that Cardi B is 6 months pregnant. I don't know whether to trust TMZ because they're also the ones that said that Big Sean was cheating on Janae Aiko. So who knows? But what are y'all thinking about that?
I don't really care. Like, if she is, then cool. But I will say, I was watching The View, which is like low key my guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I love everyone on there except Meghan McCain. And they were talking about how when women get pregnant, how people were always like, oh, this is a bad time for her to get pregnant and like her career and blah, 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 blah. And like, why should she have to choose? And I thought that was like a really interesting conversation that they were having about how like women are always expected to, you know, like do this or like do that or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting. But if she has the baby, cool. I'm so sorry to the child that your father is Offset. And I pray that the baby's
But
not gay.
is it?
My thing was,
Girl, you
What?
are dragging today.
why wouldn't it be? Who else do you
know.
suspect?
Who else would it be?
No, I was one of those people that was like, I don't like. I mean, it's not my body. Like she can have a baby, you know, whenever, whatever. I just think that it's like interesting timing. And I saw this thread about on Twitter, and it was this black woman who was talking about the way that like a lot of times niggas will like, one of the things that they use to control you is get you pregnant. And I don't like know enough about their relationship to make like to say like, oh, like, you know, Offset is clearly like trying to control her and her career because he sees her coming up and becoming independent or whatever. So he's doing that consciously. But like there was this thread, and it was like a lot of black women sharing their stories about like, you know, men manipulating them and telling them that they want a baby, or, you know, saying little things like that, and then like switching it up once they get pregnant and have the baby or whatever. And just as a means of control when they see a woman gaining independence and becoming them more of themselves and maturing or whatever, it's a way of manipulating them. And again, I don't know enough about their relationship to say that that's what's happening, but I was like, this is very interesting timing, because she's like, her album's coming out in April. She's supposed to be going on tour this summer. She's supposed to be at Coachella next month. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it is the best time career-wise for her to have a baby. But also, you know, these are different times now, you know what I mean? Like, everyone, like, teen mom is like, you know what I mean, became a craze, and she's not a teenager, you know what I mean? She's an adult, so it's just like, maybe it won't hurt her career. But, you know, I know that there were very definitely times when it was hard to market people who have had children. But Janae Aiko has a daughter, and I don't know how old that little girl is, but she's had her since as long as she's been famous. So I don't know, maybe it won't mean a difference at all, but I just find it like, I was like a little like, wow, like I thought like, you know, and especially since I also think she can do better than Offset, I'm just like, you really gonna be tied. I mean, if it's true, she's gonna be tied to him forever.
It's just crazy to me how these women who are just so accomplished and so beautiful just always end up with these men who are just so lackluster, you know? Just, you know, and I'm just like, I don't.
That's
like,
a nice word.
That is a nice word.
I was trying to be nice about it. It's just like, I don't,
because I'm just like, will Offset even be a thing a year from now? Like, people are not that into that album that Migos came out with, as you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, it didn't blow up. Like, it was like okay response, a tepid response. So like, I mean, and if anybody's gonna blow up in Migos, it's gonna be Quavo. So I'm just like, you don't even have like the Beyonce of the group, sis. Like, I don't see it. I don't know.
It just. I mean, but does anyone check for a Migos album? Like, they just do the same.
No, yeah, every song
thing.
sounds exactly the same. Though I do like "Walk It Like I Talk It" is really good. It's a bop. Walk it like I talk it.
Yeah.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Okay. So
That was ASMR.
that was ASMR Migos.
You know.
ASMR trap.
ASMR. Oh my god. I be fucking bitches. I be fucking niggas. I be fucking everybody. Fucking everybody. Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Yeah, still the realest nigga in the room. Break your internet top 2. No, I ain't number 2. My body, my ice, my cash. All real, I'm a triple that. Fuck it up and then leave. Come back. Fuck it up and leave again. Yes.
Okay.
That whisper song. What's that whisper song?
Oh.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper
Also, Fifth Harmony has terminated their contract. No, I'm just joking. They are disbanding. They're going on hiatus, is what they're calling it. But you know,
They're off.
Destiny's
They're
Child
gone.
called that too, and they came back for one album and then never again. Never to be seen together again, except for at that Super Bowl in 2013. Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for this since I heard about Fifth Harmony. I've been waiting for Normani to like do her own thing, so
You right?
this is good news for me. Like, I really want her to
ready.
I want her to come out here and do what the other girl, what's her name, should have did.
Camila
Cabello.
Cabello.
I just found out that means a horse. Wow.
It does.
Cabello?
Caballo means horse. So, make of that what you will.
I'm not gonna say anything because
Mm.
all I'll say about Camilla is this. She said in an interview that when Blue Ivy told Beyonce and Jay-Z to stop clapping, that she was nervous and she was shook.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Ivy's all of what, 4 or 6 or something like that?
She was born in 2012, so she's gonna be she's 6.
And she made you feel insecure. That says a lot.
That sure does.
And
but you know what? I'm not
Ivy is-
gonna lie. I would be insecure too, but I wouldn't tell people about it. That's the kind of shit you keep to yourself.
Wait, speaking of Blue Ivy, the young legend,
Yes.
did you see this queen?
Yes,
At the auction?
she was. She was.
Yes.
She was bidding. She's out here bidding.
Yeah.
Got to $19,000 against Tyler Perry against Tyler Perry for an acrylic painting of Sidney Poitier. So she knows her great actors.
She knows her history.
Yes.
She said, "Oh no." Jay-Z said, the funniest meme to me was when Jay-Z was like trying to stop her, and then Blue Ivy was a meme of Nene, and it was like, "I am very rich, bitch."
Like that
And
was.
Blue Ivy was like,
The investor jumped out. Like she was exhibiting
Truly.
very invested.
Oh my god.
invested
Blue Ivy
behavior.
Blue looked at Beyonce. She was like, "Mommy, why is your husband talking to me? Why?" She was like, "I am trying to buy art. This man is interrupting me, and I will go on." And did she win the auction?
No, Tyler Perry won.
Well, Tyler Perry will be found dead in a ditch very soon because Blue was not having it.
She wanted her that Sidney Poitier acrylic painting. I wanted an acrylic painting of Sidney Poitier.
I want to be Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
Imagine being 6 and just bidding $19,000
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Oh my god! Wow, I feel.
You guys like imagine her at Wall Street, just like, what is it called when they ring the bell and everyone starts running around? It's like Blue Ivy.
She
I'm too
wouldn't
poor
run.
to even know what that is
There
called.
would be no running
Like,
from Blue Ivy.
No, the person that comes out and like starts. I forgot what that's called.
auctioning.
Sarah Jessica Parker did it in Sex and the City when they always ask someone like a guest to ring the bell to like start the bidding. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know,
not getting
girl.
this reference. I'm too poor for this, but
The poverty jumped out. Like we are too poor. Oh my god! The behavior you exhibited was poverty-like behavior.
the pobre jumped out.
No. Oh god.
No, Duolingo has really been dragging me. It was like yo soy pobre, and I was like, I translated. I was like, I am poor, and then it responded, you are correct. I was like, wow, bitch, you did not have to scout me like this.
Los pobres saltaron. That means the poor jumped out in Spanish.
So I don't know. Do you guys know
Anyway.
Jesus and Mero? Are you familiar with them?
Quienes?
So they're these two hilarious dudes from New York. They have an online. I don't know if I think it's on. They have a show on Viceland, and I don't know if that's on TV or what. But I watched some of their videos on YouTube, and they also have a podcast. And their show. So they were on the Breakfast Club actually, and DJ Envy. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, did you want to play something for us?
No.
And so they were on the Breakfast Club, and DJ Envy lost his light skinned mind and went off.
Oh my god!
Light-skinned
As soon
mind.
as like he introduced them, he was just, I think he introduced them as like dickhead and pussy.
That's not funny.
That's how he introduced them. And then, I mean, dude just like lost it immediately. And so he was upset because DJ Envy, I don't know how long ago this was, but there was like rumors that he was cheating. And then there was like the Snapchat like conversation that dropped. And it was like, allegedly it was him and this woman who was like talking about how she was going to strap him up. And like she was going to put a strap on and fuck him. And actually, if you guys ever watch the clip, it is actually hilarious because, I'm not really here for shaming men for getting pegged, but I thought but like if anybody deserves it, it's the men of the Breakfast Club, and I thought it was really funny when Charlamagne was like, I don't know, the gleeful look in Charlamagne's face as he's reading the messages to DJ Envy on the show was kind of funny, but that happened, and then I guess DJ Envy was on the show on the Talk. There we go. No, not the Talk. It's one of those shows that's just the something. You know what I'm saying? And
you stay Freudian slip in the read
because I listened to them yesterday, and I'm so upset because we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But it was like one of those shows like The Talk or one of those daytime. It wasn't The View, but it was like one of those daytime shows that has like just
The Real.
The Real, that's what it was. It was The Real, that's what it was. That's why I said The Read. And he was on The Real with his wife, and they were talking about the cheating and how. And I guess there was like they played back a clip, and she was like, you know, I think his name is Rashad or something, and she was like, I know Rashad, but I don't know DJ Envy. And so if you go back to the Jesus and Mero show, they play like clips of things happening, and then they comment on it. And so the clip was like them playing that clip of him on The Real, and then Jesus and Mero watching that clip and then saying, oh, but you know that DJ Envy money though. And DJ Envy took that as they're saying that his wife is only with him for the money. And so he like flipped out and like showed them play back the clip, was very rude to them. And then like the show started to go on. They started moving past it, and they went on with the interview, and DJ Envy got up out of his seat and left and just walked out of the room and like mid-interview and left. He then was on Twitter and was like, I wish they had that same energy in the studio. And it was just kind of funny because they did. Like, first of all, he came at them. He was like calling them out of their names, and he was saying they were disrespecting his wife and claiming that she was only with him for the money, which they never even said. They said, you know that money though. You're familiar with his money that he makes under that name. So like he was like in his feelings about something that had nothing to do with what they were even talking about. So that already was like funny to me, but then he was like upset and they apologized to him. So he was like rude and disrespectful to them. They didn't even know that they had offended him. He was rude and disrespectful. They apologized, and then he was still like online talking shit about it. But apparently this is not over. They've been dragging him on their show, and also Erica Mena, who was married to Bow Wow, I think. Right? That's the one that was married to Bow Wow.
I'm sorry, Erica.
Yeah, I know. And she's so pretty. I don't know what kind of person she is, but she's very pretty. I was like, wow. But apparently DJ Envy hooked up with her. And so she's going to be on the Jesus and Mero show soon. So they were tweeting about it today. So that's going to be very messy. But yeah, that was just a very interesting little situation that happened. Are you guys not familiar with any of this?
I don't care about people from the Breakfast Club, to be honest with you, because like, why would I? Like, I don't know. I do find it really ironic though when like they get up in arms about people saying stuff about them.
Well, then
like,
moving right along,
they say stuff about like literally everyone
something
else,
you do care
so
about.
I'm
The
just
Infinity
kinda
War
like,
trailer dropped.
Yes.
I don't.
Wait, what? You know what?
I don't understand why. I'm sorry, my sound keeps going in and out. I just don't understand why they get upset about things when they keep talking stuff about everyone else. That's all.
Oh, definitely.
Like
And he was like, well, going back to that, he was like, well, you know, I talk shit about you, but I don't like when people talk shit about my kids or whatever. I'm not familiar with the Breakfast Club shows. I don't really like watch it unless somebody I really like is on, or unless they're like fucking up and I'm seeing a clip of them fucking up. But I feel like I wonder how true that is about him. I wonder how much he doesn't go after people's wives and kids. But I also just thought that was something like, I just thought that was really something funny that he was, I thought it was funny that he was so sensitive over that, because it wasn't like they said anything about her, called her character into question. He was just like, you saying you don't know this man, who this man is, but you know what his money is. You know what I mean? You using it, you living off of it. So
Right.
I don't know. It was a very interesting situation, and I'm very keen to see it evolve. But yeah, so moving right along.
Infinity War.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tony Stark being dead so Riri Williams can come through. I know she may not be a part of the MCU yet, but I'm lifting it up to Jesus and the Holy Ghost and the Father, God, and hoping that is something that we get, because I know that they've already hinted in Homecoming that after Peter Parker dies, Miles Morales is going to come
Why are
through.
you going to say, I don't want Peter to die?
I don't want him to die either, but it's gonna happen. So when it happens, we might as well be ready with something black.
I mean, like, I don't disagree with you, but I don't want him to die. Peter Parker is great. Tom Holland is great. And
he's great. He's not gonna die right now though. Like they've only done his one movie. They get 3 movies.
Oh, well, I didn't know about that.
They get 3 individual. They all get like 3 individual movies. He's still got 2 more movies. And Homecoming did very well. He's gonna get 2 more movies, and then in the next ensemble after the 3rd movie, he's probably gonna die.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, look, I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be ready and information in the theater on opening night, and I cannot wait, because this movie
I'm
has
really
been building.
confused. Go ahead.
Well, they've been building it up for 10 years, so I just feel like,
Yeah.
like the time is now. Like I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was confused. In the trailer, there's like that giant Iron Man. Is that actually Iron Man, or is that like
We don't know.
that? Oh, because I know
Wait,
in one of the movies he had he assembled a separate giant one.
Yeah,
would,
the Hulkbuster
fight
suit.
for him. Yeah. I wonder.
He
if
was
that's the
in it.
same
It
thing.
was just built to fight the Hulk, so it could be back. But the gag is we don't know if it's him that's in it.
Oh.
My bet is that it's Shuri. I'm
Why would
ready
she be in that?
because she's smart.
No, I just feel like
she's
she could
the smartest person in the world.
She'd have a better outfit, I think, or a better machine.
Well, yeah, it's not like she got time to build one, so she can just take what Tony did and go off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just ready for them battle scenes in Wakanda. I'm also ready for not Okoye. What's the other
The
Dora Milaje?
What about him?
The general.
I don't remember her name. The one who was like, no, that's Okoye.
Oh,
When she was like, "Move or you will." Be
Oh, I
moved."
don't know her name.
Like, I'm ready for her and Black Widow. Is that her name?
yeah,
I
Black
don't know.
Widow.
I'm ready for them to meet again, because look, she gonna be posted up.
I'm sure Black Widow's gonna be like, "There's a whole gag of you bitches." Like,
You right? Like,
she
she don't want no smoke.
don't want that. Listen, she don't want them hands. She ain't about that life.
She do not. She don't want that work.
Take her to town. She don't want it. Nor do she got it.
This is true.
So,
But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited, and they pushed the date up to April. So I mean, it's coming next month. It's a month
April's
away.
gonna be so good. First, we get I don't know what's coming in the first week of April, but anyway, where there's April. Well, my birthday, duh. That's what it was. So my birthday.
Yeah, I was like, wait, are you gonna mention your birthday?
I was like, why is the first week of April important? Oh yeah, so the first week of April is my birthday. Then we get Tinashe's album on the 13th. Then we get Infinity War the next week. Like, we're just blessed. Like, we're not deserving,
We really are. Like, I mean, this year it's been amazing
That's
in so many
wild.
ways, and I'm just like, oh, Father God, like, keep the blessings coming.
Flowing impeachment. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, May is when the whole trial begins. So.
For who?
I mean, and for Trump.
What
Or for
trial?
the administration, anyway. The Russian investigation. That's when the trial's supposed to begin in
What are you talking about?
against
There's no charges.
Against like Manafort and them, right?
But not for him.
Or am I No, not for him, but like obviously like shit's gonna come out at that point. Like the public's gonna find out shit, and obviously like what's the FBI nigga's name?
Oh,
Mueller?
The FBI nigga's name.
He clearly knows shit. So
Mueller.
I like our version of
All I'm
politics. It's
saying.
fun.
So I mean, this is about a week old, but Snapchat apologized to Rihanna, and I don't know if they apologized. I guess you can say they apologized to Chris Brown too for that ad that they were running, which was like, "Would you rather slap Rihanna or punch Chris Brown?" They got called out for it, obviously, like, you know, making fun of making light of domestic violence.
Yeah, and they had they had the biggest drop in stock since Rihanna called them out. They lost
I think it was like 800 million.
Yeah, and they lost a bunch of people because like people like just deleted it for her. So
and that's also after Kylie hit him where it hurts, because she said I think she tweeted like, "Am I the only one who hasn't logged into Snapchat in like months?" And I think their stock dropped after that again. So before this whole incident even happened.
Do y'all use Snapchat?
I don't really, and like I actually deleted it when I upgraded my phone. I never used it, and then I upgraded to the X, and I just never had it. And then I just downloaded it again for the filters, so that I could use them on Instagram, on my Instagram story, because you know the filters are trash on Instagram. But I just thought that was funny, and so some people were like, now we just need to get her to call out Israel. It was like, we need her to like call out capitalism. Like, it was just like all this shit. Like, they were like, we need to get Comrade Rihanna.
Did you see that meme where like
calling shit out?
There was that meme where Rihanna was like, delete Snapchat, and like there was a photograph of someone from the Navy like crying, and they're like, yes, I'll do it. Like,
but who's really crying off of deleting Snapchat? Like, it's just, I never hear anybody talk about it.
I think the only people who still have Snapchat are like fuckboys who like are.
Oh yeah,
who still do that thing. Just kidding.
Rakeem?
No.
Wait, are you not a fuckboy, Rakeem?
What?
Come on, Cindy, say.
Cannot compute.
Ew.
You're so stupid. I hate you so much. That was so ugly.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, okay, girl. Because, you know, sometimes I'd be thinking from Long Beach.
Oh, wow. God, get him right there, Baze. Jesus.
Why would you do that? You know I don't feel comfortable there. You know I don't like this. So why would you say that?
Oh, God. I guess that's about it, right? Is there anything else you guys want to mention? You said something about Donald Trump Jr. having an affair with Aubrey O'Day.
Oh my God! So I went on to
what the hell is that?
Bitch, I don't know. I went on to Twitter today, and I was like,
on
what?
The Twitter,
and I looked on the trending topics, and I saw Aubrey O'Day trending, and I was like, she's clearly not trending for music. So what's going on? And do you know who Aubrey O'Day is, by the way?
She's from that
Danny
P. Diddy show, right? Where they got like the
she's from Danny D. Kane.
Danny D. Kane,
okay, yeah.
And I just remember thinking like, okay, so let me just go look to see what it is. And then I saw that she had an affair, or rather, Donald Trump Jr. had an affair with Aubrey while his wife was pregnant, and she wrote a song about it. The song is called DJT. DTJ. Sorry, the John jumped out. And I was shocked. Like, and then I was looking on Twitter, and someone literally posted yesterday that I hope the Aubrey O'Day Donald Trump Jr. story comes out today, and it did. And I'm just like, did you leak it, sis? And then someone on Twitter went back to 2011 and they took a screenshot of Aubrey saying something, and then Donald Trump Jr. responded like, "Oh, you better get back to work, naughty girl," or something like that.
Oh,
no.
Should I play the song? I haven't heard it yet. Should I play it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we have the...
Bitch, it's Aubrey. I'm sure we have the clearance.
I'm sure, but let's not risk it, sis, just in case. You know what, Donald Trump Jr. might come for us.
Oh, then honestly, it'll like blow up the podcast. Oh my god,
that's true.
It's the opening track. It's on this album called Between Two Evils that came out in 2013.
Okay, well.
It's the only song on this track that
I never want to hear it. I never want to hear it.
It's the only song on here that has an explicit label by it, so she was pissed. This is also what I was talking about. Why these women? Well, Aubrey's a weird thing because Dawn punched her in the head and all this other stuff. But Aubrey's weird because she's by societal standards like really pretty, and Donald, whatever his name is, looks like
inbred.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, you said it. I was trying to find a better. I was going to say facially challenged, but you go off.
He looks like
the truth joke.
Cersei Lannister's real child.
Oh no, he looks like Joffrey. I cannot.
He sure does.
Wow.
He looks like Joffrey. Like, let's be real. Those children like were too conventionally attractive, much more conventionally attractive than they should have been in that show. They really would have looked like the Trump children.
Truly, I wonder if they were inspired by the Trump family because
I could believe
because you know that he wants to have sex with Ivanka so bad. Like
I do.
So
I do. That whole family just. I mean, that you can say one thing. One thing you can't say about them is that they're ever boring. There's always some shit going down. It's like reality TV. I swear to God.
True. So, I mean...
This is what y'all voted for. Y'all voted for reality TV.
Talking about, I don't like Hollywood elites. Girl.
You like Hollywood trash, though.
Oh, well.
Can we end this on a good note and...
Yes.
Say... Oh, wait. Well, what are our thoughts on the movie that we saw this weekend, Baze?
Oh, yes.
So can we end this on a good note by not including Rakim? Great.
No.
I was actually going to talk about bubble tea and poppy juice as well, but I will just say, I do get what Curly was saying about it centering a white person, because it very much is about a white middle class gay dude.
Right.
And like, of course, rolls my motherfucking eyes. But I was crushed. I like had to go look up like his age to make sure that it was like okay, but I was like, I low-key had a crush on that actor. And he's 22 years old, so it's fine. Yeah, he's actually not that much younger than me, so I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I thought it was deceptively diverse, like it really was. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I thought that there was opportunities for non cis gay male representation. Like, I thought that there were times when I like there were things that I expected to happen that did not happen. There was also like there was also a moment where I thought someone was trans, which I get why they didn't necessarily make the person trans, but I thought like that was a missed opportunity a little bit. Like I thought there was opportunity to like talk about like to have a character who was like non-binary or you know what I mean? Or and I felt like that was like a little bit disappointing. But what I loved about it was just, I mean, and another thing, and one thing that I actually just hated was that all the black people in the movie are light skinned, except for like one person. So, and they're all mixed. So I was just like, oh my God, like, come on now. Come on, casting directors. Find the paper bag. Not
the paper bag. Goodbye.
Yes, find it and then find someone who fails it, please. Yeah, I mean, those are my issues with that. Those are my things that like I would have rather there'd been something else going on there. But what I loved about it was that it just felt I did relate to the character. I felt the whole outing, someone outing you. I had my cousin out me, and that feeling of like someone taking that from you. It just like they did that so well in the movie. And just like the fact that it just was like there was a lot of seriousness to it, but like it wasn't heartbreaking. It wasn't just heartbreaking. It was like there was like so much hope and happiness, and like we don't get that very often. So it was really important.
It's
a really important movie, and I loved it. Oh, go ahead, John. You can do the rest.
No, I was just gonna say, like, this whole time I was like, wow, like this isn't revolving around like HIV or like the narrative that there's something violent happening and I don't want to go into detail like with spoiling it, but like it's not like other movies I've seen where I'm crying for a different reason, you know? Like I was crying because it was so sweet. Like it was I was like, I wish I had this movie when I was a little baby gay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Because the movies that like I don't know about you guys, but the movies I watched growing up always revolved around like, wow, I guess this is our story, is it's going to be trash, like we're all going to die and of either violence or AIDS or whatever. But I think it was a good positive outlook, and I thought the soundtrack was nice, the dialogue was nice, and it wasn't too corny, but I think it was just the right amount of corny, you know. So yeah, I would recommend seeing it. I think at first when I saw the trailer, I was like, I thought the same thing what Curly was saying, like, I rolled my eyes because like here's this like white kid, but it was actually pretty good. So yeah. Rakeem, tell us your thoughts after you see it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
Also, I just. Go ahead.
I mean, nothing. I don't have thoughts because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh. Also, I just want more. I want some of the white gay listeners out here to read this article on Into. It's called "On Not Taking Up Space: Attending QPOC Parties as a White Gay Man" by Eric Zimmerman. Just check that out. Look at that a little bit. Because I was at Poppy Juice / Bubble Tea on Friday. It was lit. The drinks were not. But yeah, I paid a lot of money for drinks that barely had any alcohol in them. I was like, I should have pre-gamed, but I know better for next time. Otherwise, I had an amazing time. It was so much fun. I saw like every gay that I ever met in my life at this thing. Like everybody was there. I danced next to Alexander Wang. It was just like, yeah. And then it was cracking me up because Jason was like, "Oh, he's gonna leave in like a little bit." Sorry, our mutual friend Jason. He's like, he's probably gonna leave because he's never at these things for very long. And he was there when we left. Like he stayed. Like everybody had a good time.
Wow, was that lit? I'm so sad we don't have a thing like that in LA.
It was so much fun, and it ended up being at the same venue that the Charlie XCX show was.
Oh, the El Rey
from Bubble.
Yeah, she brought out. Apparently, she brought out. What's her name?
Oh, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Why can't I think of it? No, not Carly Rae. I said. What did I say?
Kim Petras?
I said Carly Rae.
No,
I meant Charlie XCX. Sorry. Charlie XCX had a show at that same venue, and she brought out Cupcake.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
dang.
Also, speaking of Charlie XCX, me and not Renee. I'm so sorry. Renee was supposed to go, but then didn't get a ticket. But I went to the Charlie XCX concert with my friend. And I just wanted to play, and she brought out Carly Rae Jepsen. I just wanted to share y'all the audio of what that sounded like when Carly came out. 1 second. That's all.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad you got to experience that. I was watching your story, and I was like, God damn it, I wish I was there.
It was across the street from my job. It was amazing. All I had to do was just literally just wait for the concert to start, lock the door, and walk over. It was perfect.
And then last but not least, I am happy to say that I will be seeing the On the Run tour in Philly in June.
Oh my God.
What?
So, yes, I'm very happy about
Did you get tickets this morning?
Oh.
Yeah, Mark got them. I was like, thank you, Daddy.
Oh. I hope he said thank you for some
But-
other stuff too. If he got you Beyonce tickets,
Well, I'm sick, but when
So?
we can renegotiate. But then I was like listening to the read, and Crystal is going to see it in Paris, and I was like, but that's why I was thinking about the read, because I was like, I've been thinking about that all day. Like she's going to go and see On the Run in Paris
multiple times.
But anyway, I'm so excited. Like I'm gonna see it. I've never really been to Philly, so I've like kind of driven through before, so that's gonna be cute. Or I've driven through Pennsylvania, not Philly, so it's gonna be cute. We're gonna see how it
And
goes.
I'll be seeing her at the Rose Bowl, so I'm excited as well.
Oh, you're gonna be seeing all the black LA gays gonna come out of hiding.
Lord, that's gonna be a mess. Well, actually,
It's gonna be messy.
it's gonna be a mess.
Well,
Well, actually, you know what? I'm actually going with friends, so I think it'll be okay. Like, I think,
no, we were fine too, but it was still messy.
yeah, it was. So Beyonce concerts are always places for drama. Like, I just hope no one
The
fights.
after party's gonna be at Blow, and it's just gonna be a mess.
Girl, I'm going.
No, all the girls are gonna be like, my water is clearer. No, my water is
Oh my
clearer, bitch. How
God,
dare you come out
stop
here? How you
it.
gonna come for my water,
Who
bitch?
stole my enema from the bathroom counter? I put it right
Oh my
next
God,
to my
remember when we went to the
strawberry. Who
bathroom?
took it?
Rakeem, remember when we went to the bathroom and it was just wall to wall fine gay niggas
Ugh.
everywhere?
I just want to be like, slurp,
I'm-
slurp, 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 slurp.
You know, I'm wondering what these Philly niggas about to look like. But anyway,
Trade.
trade.
How you say that in Spanish?
Oh, I don't know. How do you say it? I don't know. Fuck. I wanted to say one last thing. Oh, wait. No, it's gone. It was about like people taking up space and things. Oh, yes. I did want to say too, like real quick, to the black gays that come to like QPOC events and have like attitudes and like stank better than you attitudes. Girl, like you paid actual money to be around queer POC and you want to be stank? Like you could go do that for free at Rebar or on the white gay sis. Why do that?
Wow.
Yikes.
Like why? Like you know what I mean? Like you got dressed up and you came out of the house with your friend and you're with your friends. You know what I mean? And you came out to be in this space just to have a stank attitude for what? Like what does that do for you? I don't get it. Also, shout out to the people that came up to me about our podcast. Like I actually felt like y'all for a night because a few people came up to me and were like, "Oh my God, I love Podcast of Color," and I was like, "Oh my God." It was very nice. It was really nice. It was an ego boost. But anyway, yeah. So okay, we can move on from here.
All right, we'll see y'all at the discourse.
So, discourse.
What up? We back with the discuss.
We're back. Come on.
This week we do a lot of dragging on the show and we do a lot of calling out. But this week I thought we would do a little bit of calling out, but yourself.
Oh,
but make it yourself.
Calling in.
Yes, but make it fashion.
Dragging de
calling yourself out,
nosotros.
but make it fashion. Yeah. Yes. So this is more or less like us. Like I guess the question is, what kind of things did you think that were problematic in one way or another, and how did you address that and I guess get past that? Because you know what we do sometimes overlook, and I don't mean just us, but like in general people, is that we didn't all come out the womb knowing things and having the knowledge for things. So like so it's like you had to learn. Someone had to teach you. You had to read. You know what I mean? Like before I discovered Tumblr, for example, as extra as Tumblr is, it taught me a lot. Like I learned a lot about things that I had no idea about. Like there's so many things that I now would never say that I would have said before. So and so you can talk about anything, whether the way you talk about bodies, the way that you talk about race, the way that you talk about sexuality, femininity, whatever. So I just because I'm not always claro
I cannot. Yo no puedo.
Wow.
Sí, sí puedo. No wait, that's yes he can, right?
Yeah, it's
fine.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I thought I would just go first this time, so like I kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm really talking about with this discourse. So, this is gonna be hard because I'm actually gonna be acknowledging really fucked up things that I used to think, and wow, I'm gonna be telling you guys all about it.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. I'm just like,
don't drag us
what
in our
race do I go
emails.
with first? I'm like, what race do I like talk about my biggest issues with first?
Asians.
Should I go there?
Just do
Okay.
Asians.
Go in alphabetical order.
Okay, so
I don't know why I just got that. I was like, what, John? Oh, Asians.
John. John.
The John jumped out.
John needs a show and it's just called "Oh John." It's just like all the things that he doesn't get.
Bless your heart.
The rapture is when. Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
The Purge. Like I'm just picturing John teaching Bible study and he's like talking about the Purge. So when God comes back during the Purge.
Today's lesson is brought to you by the letter 4.
Oh no. If everyone can turn I was gonna say chapter 4, but that is a number. Damn. Never mind.
Your John jumped out. Okay.
No,
okay.
No, the logic jumped out actually.
So I spent about half of my life in Torrance, California. So Torrance has just about everything except for black people. There's a lot of white people. There's a lot of Asians. Especially a lot of Filipinos, and there's a lot of Latinx folks. So some of the feelings that I had. I mean, let me stop giving qualifiers. Let me just say what I gotta say. This is really difficult.
Well, I think you should tell people that this isn't what you think now. This is what you use.
No, definitely, but it's still hard because acknowledging your own things is always difficult. I guess I'll start with driving. I was definitely one of those people that said I definitely was that person. I was like, I definitely said that Asian people can't drive. And I realized how I overcame that belief is I moved to a... Are you laughing, bitch?
Yeah, Rakeem. Come on, Rakeem.
I can't do
Why
this.
are you laughing at anti...
Keep it together.
I'm sorry. This is going to be so funny to me because
This is really hard.
we're just all going to be like, this is trash. Like, we're garbage.
We are. I mean, we are. We're trash bags.
Okay, I'll keep it together.
I definitely was like, I definitely held that belief, and I think what changed was I started spending more time outside of Torrance, I guess, and then I was like, oh wait, everybody just really sucks at driving in LA and like will run you over and like crash into you and whatever. And I don't even know. I think it was just that like people always say that, like people said, Asians can't drive, so I was like, okay, well, like that must be true. And so like I think I just, how I unlearned that was I just started thinking more critically, I guess. Like I think it was one of those things I just kind of accepted as fact. I definitely believed the Asian men had smaller penises thing. And I remember that was actually something that Mark checked me on because I didn't even think of it as a racist thing. I was just like, well, that's just like a fact. And I had never hooked up with an Asian guy before, so I didn't have any actual reference. But again, it was one of those things that people always just said, so I kind of just was like, oh, okay, well, like I guess that's true. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember saying that, and I was like, oh, well, like maybe it was just because he was Asian and like, they have a smaller penis. And Mark was like, what? And I was just like, yeah. And he was like, are you serious? And I was just like, yeah. And he was like, so you can't say that.
He's like, what's wrong
and I was
with you?
just, yeah, he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, what? And again, it was like one of those things that I had just accepted because again, part of it is I didn't have, I like the only, honestly, before you, John, the only Asian friend that I'd had was my friend Jake in elementary school, who was Japanese. And after I moved away, from Harbor City in middle school, all of my friends were like white, black, or Latinx folks. And part of that, and this is not me saying like it's their fault, but part of that was that Asian people didn't really want to interact with black people as much, I felt, unless there was like a cool factor to them, unless there was like, you know what I mean? And so like, that's not to say that like, oh, well, that's your fault, that's why I believe that. It's just me saying that like, I just had very limited interactions with Asian people. And so, I mean, that was pretty much the extent of it. I think
for Asian people.
For Asian people. I think that was pretty much the extent of it. I just felt like I didn't ever really try to like learn anything deeper than that initially because I didn't feel that, in LA there's like a lot of animosity between black people and Asian people.
Yeah.
And
there's a history to that.
Part of that is, and part of that is, there's a lot of anti-Asian Asianness, and a lot of Orientalism. There we go.
Yeah.
I got it. In Black communities.
Wait, what is that? I'm sorry.
It's just like the exotification of Asian people.
Okay.
You know, like when like Black people are like, oh, you have Chinese eyes, or like, you know what I mean, or like, there's just like little things that Black people do, and I mean big things too. But so there's that, but then there's also like the anti-Blackness from Asian people, and like at my school at Torrance High, where I went, you know, a lot of Asian kids didn't really like fuck with you if like the only way they really liked Blackness was in the context of like if they were breakdancers, and they liked you know, I knew people that like were breakdancers, and they loved crews. They loved underground hip hop, and like, you know what I mean, and they loved hip hop, but that was the only way they engaged with Blackness. And so I never bothered to learn, I guess, about Asian people. I mean, obviously that's a huge group of people, but I mean, like, just in general, I just didn't bother to learn because I was like, you know, y'all don't fuck with us, and I don't really fuck with y'all, so, you know, that was where I was at that point. But I think that as my life experiences, like, I started traveling, and I started making more friends outside of Torrance, and it really changed my perspective on the world, and it made me more willing to engage with critical thinking. So that was that. In terms of like Latinx folks, I was definitely anti-immigration. I was definitely like,
wow,
yeah.
Whoa.
I was definitely definitely anti-immigration.
Yeah,
I was anti-immigration. I definitely felt like, you know, like I had family members that were like, you know, there used to be a point where you had to struggle, you know, just against white kids, but now you have to struggle. Like, I have always had like that told to me, but now you have to struggle against Asian and Latin and like Mexican kids. And so like now you gotta like fight against them to get your piece in the world. And it's like it's that idea that like POC have to fight each other for a slither of like representation instead of just fighting white people. And so I was kind of raised not by my mom, but like there were just adults in my life that were like that would say little things like that to me. And so I definitely was like, well, you know, they're gonna come over and they're gonna take over. Like that was my mindset. Like they're gonna come over and they're gonna take over. They're gonna like push Black people down further. And they're going to take the spot, I don't know, that we should have or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't remember actually having like a logical process of like why I did not think that Latinx folks should have the same opportunities. But it ultimately was bullshit. How did I overcome that? I just, again, I think it was just a similar thing. I got exposed to different people. Tumblr as well. Again, as much as we talk shit about how extra Tumblr is, like that really went a long way towards me getting to see other people's perspectives, because I was following a lot of Asian people and a lot of Latinx folks, and I was just like seeing that, you know, like a lot of the things that I was like, I had just accepted from society were like, I had to finally like engage with those thoughts and combat them. And so, and so I did that. And it's not to say that like now I'm perfect or anything. Like I don't still have like thoughts that sometimes happen. Like, but I don't know. It's like, you know, the idea is that you learn from the past and you learn from the mistakes that you've made. And so that's where I try to go from. I try to be like, well, I thought this about this, so I need to learn this is how I'm going to deal with it. This is how I'm going to engage with it. You know what I mean? Why do I think this? You know, like, you know, how does this relate to the people that I know, or the people, I don't know, just like, you know, just engaging with it and thinking about it critically. Another thing I definitely used to do is I would call myself fat all the time, which is, so that's going from race to body type. But I definitely was that person that would like be in the mirror, like, you're fat, you're disgusting, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? I've never been fat in my life, but that I definitely was that person that would like, the way that we like joke around about like insta gays talking about their bodies is the way I used to talk about my body. And so and it was part of that is because I just didn't have I just didn't have many fat friends, or many friends who didn't have like, who weren't thin. And so nobody ever
Yeah.
challenged me on those things. You know what I mean? And that's really that seems to be the common thing for like a lot of the things that I used to think, was that nobody was challenging me
Right.
and my ideas about
Right.
things. I was just constantly being like fed this information, and then it was just being like sort of encouraged by everyone else around me. So it took me talking to people with other body types, and also being on, again, Tumblr, and like hearing people tell their stories about like, you know, how people have made them feel about their body, and learning like, hey, I'm allowed to feel how I feel about my body, but that doesn't mean that I get to disparage other people's bodies in the process. And I don't get to make, I can feel how I want, but I don't get to be like, well, I'm fat, because one, I'm not, but also being fat is not a bad thing. And so like having to unlearn that. And that's even something that I still deal with today. I don't necessarily call myself fat anymore in the mirror or anything, but the way that I talk about my body to myself in my head is still problematic, and it's still something that I'm working on. And I mean, or I can even think about like, what's something problematic I did recently? We were at this restaurant, and somebody like this South Asian family came, and they like came to our table at this restaurant and asked when we were leaving. And like, have you ever heard of that ever happening? Like, you're at a restaurant and people ask you when you're leaving so that they can sit down. They came and asked how long we were going to be. And I remember,
Oh my God.
I was just like, and I remember saying like, oh yeah, well, like, you know, there's so much anti-blackness in Asian communities. And and Ian was like, wait a minute. Ian, our friend Ian, was like, wait a minute, sis, like, you don't know what was going on there. You know,
Right.
you might want to calm down on that. And I had to like really check myself and be like, oh shit, bitch, like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there is a lot of anti-blackness in Asian communities, but I don't know what the situation was there, and I didn't need to assume that just because these people were South Asian. And so it's just like little things like that. Like, I still have my moments, and I think we all are always going to have those moments, because, you know, we're taught things, and you don't just, that doesn't just go away. You have to unlearn it. Sorry, I've been talking for a long time. Sorry, you guys. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, let it all out. Is that it?
Don't
Because all you did was
apologize.
Asians.
I
and
mean,
body
there's
types.
probably I'm sure there's a shit ton of other stuff, but I just haven't thought. I'm now that I'm talking, you know, when you're talking and it's like suddenly you run out of shit. So I could really be here for like hours probably, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, that's really how I've unlearned things, is I've gained experiences. And I think that that at the end of the day, like, meeting other people of different experiences and like having conversations that challenge your worldview are really the key to unlearning a lot of the things that that we're taught by society. So go ahead, guys.
For sure.
Wow.
I'll go next, or you?
You can go if you want.
Okay. Well, first I want to say, I think what you guys, and I guess what I'm doing too, is we're putting ourselves in a really vulnerable spot about saying our things that are what we used to think were problematic. And what we're doing is basically publicly processing. Like, we're here learning publicly what we're doing. Like, last episode, or maybe a few episodes ago, I had said something about like how I handled being non-binary and hooking up culture. And so thankfully our friend Ian again called me out called me in and said, you know, like, hey, you know, maybe that wasn't the best response to a listener. And so I just want to say that I totally agree that we're still learning, and it's things like moments like that where we're confronted with a different point of view, and I really appreciate it. And my problematic things are actually things that I fully embody currently. So a friend of mine was visiting from San Francisco this weekend, and we were talking about like kind of our journey into femininity. And I don't know if this is surprising to anybody, but I was kind of really anti-fem when I was younger. Like, I wanted to be as far away from femininity as I could. Like, especially growing up in the IE, you know, like, I tried to be unclockable. Like, I wanted to blend in. And so I was like, yeah, I'm into caps, and I'm into like oversized t-shirts, and like, And if there was like a femme kid around, I would like look at that kid. I'm like, I never want to be that kid. You know what I mean? Because, and one, it's, you know, it was because of safety. Like, I can't be that kid because that kid is obviously getting like picked on a lot, and I don't want that to be me. But also a super problematic thing I was thinking was that like that femininity was very undesirable, and I guess less valuable in the community. And I was putting masculine culture on a pedestal for sure. Like, that is something I wanted to be when I was younger, was that like, you know, this is what gay culture is to like aspire to be masc, and like femininity is sort of like not seen as human. They're just sort of like the punchline. Do you know what I mean? Like, my example to my friend was that like, you know, all we knew growing up was like Will and Grace, and like Jack was the joke and Will was the one that people took seriously. And so I was like, I never want to be Jack. Like, I never want to be him. And like, now look at me, shit. I was saying this as I was putting on my makeup, like, and putting on like glitter on my lips, like, and I think what woke me up from that whole mindset was actually like looking into the history of our community, because I don't know when I started becoming really interested in LGBTQ history, but I was seeing that like a lot of the changes were being made by femme-identified folks and women and transgender women, and like, I don't know, and I got to thinking like, why am I so anti-femme? And yeah, I don't know. That's something, and I can't, it just makes me a little embarrassed of that I used to think that way. And another thing I wanted to bring up that was problematic was status, regarding HIV status. So like back then, like before or even during the early phases of apps, like as soon as I saw someone had put like I'm positive or something on their page, I would sort of like automatically just swipe or click next, because it was like it still had a negative connotation for me. You know, I was really uneducated back then. I didn't really know, like, as soon as I saw positive, I thought, oh, that's like a certain type of lifestyle. You know, that's someone who's a little more promiscuous than someone who isn't positive. And like, that is so wrong. And I also thought there was like a look to it too. I thought, oh, there was like, that person is positive and I can tell just because they have like the HIV look. Like, that's what I used to think back then. And that's super problematic as fuck. But also like, there was sort of, I mean, HIV drugs back then used to cause certain side effects, like lipodystrophy, which means like fat going to certain places, like your back and like your extremities, and then it would like make all of it redistribute to your torso. And so I just automatically assumed that everyone I saw who had thin extremities and like a torso that was like had a belly, I thought that person was positive. And just like, that's not how I should be thinking, right? And then it wasn't until, I'm kind of really embarrassed to say this, but it wasn't until like more recently, until I started working in HIV management, where I became more educated into like what being positive actually means and what being negative actually means. You know, like that there's not like good or bad, and there's not clean or dirty. You know, like the language that I still see now people are using, like I used to be that person, and like I'm correcting people online now, like, hey, you shouldn't say like looking for clean in UB2, like, and I've gotten some good responses, but you know, that used to be me, and so I'm really thankful that people have called me in, and I'm really thankful for people who I'm talking to who are keeping an open mind. Yeah, so those are a few things I wanted to touch on.
Wow.
Cool.
I just feel like everyone is learning so much, or looking back on how much we've learned, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess for me, I'm going to talk about 3 things too. One, I used to be very misogynistic, like very, and like I used to say a lot of jokes, like with my cousin, and like with my well, I guess some of my male cousins, and I would just say, or I would say it like to my mom and my sister, and like they would tell me to do something, I'd be like, oh, like go back to the kitchen, or like it was bad, like like I used to say like, okay, but like I would say it in like a way that was like joking, but it's not funny, obviously, and wasn't funny. So yeah, I'd be like, oh, like go back to the kitchen, or I'd be like, or I don't know, like just stuff that they would say. I wouldn't really pay attention to them, or I'd be like, okay, well, you're a woman, like whatever. Like I would say it in a joking way all the time, but it wasn't really funny, and it wasn't really appropriate to say. And I think part of it was because when my cousin started saying it, like he's the one that would like kind of started me on that joke. I wanted to feel like a part of something, I guess. And so I kind of went along saying these things, not really thinking that they were hurtful or whatever, because I wanted to feel, I guess, accepted to a point, I guess, which is not an excuse, but it's what I did. But the main 2 things I want to talk about is I was extremely like self-hating and extremely like anti-black for a really, really, really long time. And actually homophobic too. Like I remember, before I get into the race thing, I remember my other cousin was having a party at my house. I think when she was like graduating middle school or something, and her friend Heather was coming or something like that. And I remember she was saying that like her friend was a lesbian. And I remember thinking, I cannot have a gay person here. That's wrong. Like, that's garbage. Oh. And I remember telling someone, and I think someone had said, well, that makes someone uncomfortable. So, like, Heather wasn't allowed to come to the party or something like that or whatever. I don't remember specifically, but I just remember thinking, like, ugh, like, that's gross. I don't ever want to, you know, like, be around that or see that or whatever. But, yeah. And also because, actually, never mind. But yeah, so I used to be like really, yeah. So I used to be like really, like really self-hating when it came to black people. And I used to say things like, well, if black people didn't want to get shot, like they needed to pull their pants up, and they needed to like be respectable, and they needed to learn how to talk correctly, and like they needed to learn how to, you know, do this and do that, and like be members of society, and not just and not, you know, not just like wear or, you know, wear whatever and do whatever. Like you need to be normal. That word. And I remember once, I don't remember when it was, but I came home and I think I told my mom, like it was in high school, and I told my mom, oh, I think I'm a Republican. And she was like, why would you say that? And I was like, well, because, you know, like I don't think gay people should get married, and I think that black people need to pull up their pants and whatever. And she was like, who raised you? Like, and she was like, I didn't teach you that. And I just remember getting into these huge arguments with my mom and my sister, like, and they were just like, who is teaching you this stuff? Because you're wrong. And it's crazy because it actually wasn't a lot of my family that taught me a lot of the anti-blackness stuff. It was because I went to an all black school from kindergarten to, 6th grade or so. And I got picked on by them, and they always made me feel like I wasn't black enough, or I wasn't whatever. And so people would you know, would pick on me. They would call me names. They would, you know, there was a time where someone like pushed me downstairs. I had like a gate pushed on me, And I was always made fun of. Yeah. And I never, and I never talked like a certain way and whatever. So I always got told I was whitewashed or I wanted to be white and like I was like too smart and all this stuff. And it made me really hate them. And then when I went to public school, the black people did the same thing there because I didn't feel comfortable around them. So it took me a really long time to not like become really bitter and like be angry against black people. And I think it took based like what you were saying, college and Tumblr, to really kind of snap me out of it. Like, I think what really snapped me out of it was when I actually lived with a Republican. And like,
you're like,
no, I was like, yeah, no, never mind. Trash. And it was just like, I actually lived with a Republican my whole 4 years of college, actually. And, it was just, I was just like, yeah, this isn't really for me. And then I remember we were having a conversation about like, Mike Brown or something like that. And I was trying to explain to him like, well, this is why this is how it is. And this is what black people have to do. And I just remember him saying, just stereotypical stuff. Like there's no white entertainment television and like all of this stuff. And I just remember thinking like, did I really used to think like this? Cause this is garbage. And yeah. So like, even to this day, like there are still times when like I'll, be with people and like sometimes if a big group of black people come by me, I don't feel like threatened or anything. I just feel like I'm going to be made fun of or picked on, so sometimes I like kind of like shut down, and sometimes I have to like catch myself because you keep going back to, as much as you grow, like when something's in your childhood, like it's ingrained in you and like the responses are so kind of like muscle memory sometimes. So I don't like do things that that are on purpose that are like problematic, but like sometimes like my body kind of has like these reflexes to things or whatever. And then the other thing is I also used to be like very slut shamey. I don't think I said that, but no. If people like were like, oh, I slept around or whatever, I'd be like, why don't you just sleep with one person? Like, why do you not care about your body and blah, 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 blah. Right. And it's like, it's just, I'm just kind of over that. Like, I just feel like you should be able to do what you want to do with it. And, if that means you want to sleep with a lot of people, do that. Go off, There's
That's a good one, Rakima. I'm glad you brought that up because I used to think the same way. I used to put like virginity or like monogamy on this pedestal, like, and like that our bodies were temples and, keeping your number down. If I heard someone with like in the triple digits, I'm like, oh my god, that person's a slut, and like I feel like I'm that person now. So like,
oh my god, John is a slut.
If like little teenager me saw me now, they'd be like, who is that? Like, right. And I just want to like look at myself at my teen self and I'm like, shut the fuck up, faggot. Like, it's
oh my god.
Like, it's like, no, like seriously, because like that was problematic me. It was like not okay with femmes and not okay with people who like enjoyed having sex. And so like if I could look at my past self and be like, wake up, like shake me by the shoulders, like these people are okay, they're fine, like, and you are gonna be one of them, like. Well, I don't know. I'm just glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, I just think in general that with all the things that come up, like it's just really important for people to like listen to other people. Like when someone says like this is problematic or whatever, like I think sometimes our first response is to be like, oh my god, like I know I do it. Like if someone tells me something that I just feel like is really stupid, but I think I'm going to try to be better about listening to people because I know sometimes like it is a lot, like. But I think that, it doesn't come from a bad place. It comes from wanting to, make other people feel comfortable. But I get that it's hard and sometimes Tumblr and, the internet and people do a lot. But
like, remember when someone said it was problematic to not explain taking the L? They said it was ableist.
What? I can't.
Remember somebody, I forgot who it was, but they said it was ableist not to explain to white people what taking an L means.
Excuse me?
The Reach.
Yeah. Do you remember in Grindr Aesthetics, that group base?
Oh, girl, why'd you even mention them? They're gonna come for our neck. I actually don't know if it even exists anymore, but I left that group a long time ago. It was doing a lot.
Well, I left the group a while ago because I know there was a 200 comment conversation about someone who said he had sex in an empty bathroom or in a bathroom on an empty floor at his job, but they had sex in the handicap stall because it was like more room. And someone said that he was like ableist and like being trash, and I was just like, what?
My thing with stuff like that too is that sometimes people do use like especially, and this is why I kind of got off. This is part of why I like got lost interest in Tumblr, was that a lot of people do this thing where they utilize
call out culture,
the language, but also like these words and language to be abusive to people, and not necessarily just even abusive, because that is a strong word, because it's not always just to be abusive, but it's also just to lord things over people. And it's very political, really, like the way that people like choose to call out certain people but then like give other people a pass. Like I remember on Tumblr there was like this huge movement. Like I remember like when I first started getting on Tumblr, a lot of the more popular people on Tumblr refused to talk about like racism and all that other stuff. Like they just didn't care about it. It wasn't cool, right? And then like around like 2013, 2014, there was like a cultural shift, and suddenly calling people out and like talking about things became like acceptable, and not even acceptable, not only acceptable but encouraged.
Yeah.
And so I saw some of the same people, you know, who had just been talking about how they didn't care about racism or whatever, like suddenly they were like social justice warriors. And I saw the same people who were like saying like, oh, like non-black people shouldn't be saying nigga, but then their friends who were just saying nigga like last week, they weren't saying anything to. And then, or, you know, oh, like, you know, like just making a big show out of calling everyone out, like, oh, you shouldn't say bitch because you're a cis man, but then also like all their friends say bitch, all their cis male friends say bitch, and they didn't care, and it was no issue. So it's just like, I've seen like a lot of that performative like utilization of this language, of the call out language, I guess you could say, and who they use it, they weaponize it and use it against certain people, but other people is fine. And so like I think that's where I kind of became a little bit jaded about like, I don't want to say that culture, but I guess kind of that culture. I became kind of jaded by it because I just didn't feel like it was like actually like productive. And I feel like a lot of times, I don't know. I don't want to go to a whole thing, but that was why, I think that's why a lot of us feel the way that we feel about like Tumblr or like that group like Grindr Aesthetics is because it doesn't feel like it's what's the word? It starts with a C. I know it's there. Okay, it's gone. So, but it's when things are happening continuously, like the same for everybody, when it's equal. Consistent. There we go.
Oh,
things are not consistent.
I was thinking Ariana Grande, like equality.
Equality.
It's equality. No, but things are not consistent, and the way that people address things is not really consistent. So I think I get why you would get like jaded by that and kind of like be like, oh girl, but at the same time, like we can't be afraid to listen to each other, because I definitely felt the same way you did, like especially about respectability politics. I was like, if black people just like pull up their pants and like read a book, I thought I was so special for reading books. I was like, bitch, I can read. I really did. I thought I was so special. I was like, bitch, I read. I listen to music that's not hip hop. I'm not like these other Negroes. I was definitely that person. I was like, I was aware. I was never really obsessed with whiteness because I was like, I've always loved history, so I was always aware of like white supremacy, but I was still like, I still thought I was elevated. Like I really still believed in respectability politics. Like I would have been like, I was like NAACP black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
I wasn't like Rawr black, but I was like NAACP black.
I was Rawr black.
What's Rawr black?
Girl. That's when you like straighten your hair and like listen to Slipknot. And, like,
well,
and like
I didn't listen to Slipknot, but I was definitely.
And you like watch anime and you think you're special for it.
Rawr black.
Wow. I just came here to have a discussion and I feel so attacked right now.
Yeah, I was like NAACP, like
new black.
Like, yes, I was like, you know, we have to advance the colored race, and you know these ignorant Negroes are standing in our way.
Mess.
That was my mindset. But anyway, this was an interesting discussion.
It was.
I have a lot to
revealing
think about. Like I have a lot to
discussion.
reflect on.
Yeah. I mean, there's still so much I didn't even say.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I was problematic. I was so problematic, Lord Jesus, Father God.
But if y'all want to maybe send us stories about things you found problematic and are working on, send us your emails to podcasttocolor@gmail.com, and we'd love to, maybe have a discussion with y'all. And
also,
I was going to say also, if you want to talk to us about it on Twitter, you can talk to us about it at Trashacolor too, because we love having conversations with y'all on there. So,
we sure do.
Oh,
I love that you guys engage with us. Like, it's so much fun.
I will say this though: if you're going to drag me, at least know that who said what. That's all.
That, and please don't at me, because I don't need to. I don't care.
Like,
I don't.
If y'all are going to try to drag one of us to something that we said, please just be sure that you have the correct person. That's all. Because I don't want my mentions flooded, and it's not even something that I said. That's all.
I don't have a Twitter, but if you want to drag me, if you can just DM me, that's fine.
John never gets dragged. You only get love on Twitter.
Truly.
You and Renee. The anti-blackness. Like our listeners, never say anything against Renee.
It truly is only
or
me and
John.
you.
But they only drag the two of us. And it'd be black people too. So I'm just like, what's going on?
It'd be your own niggas.
It'd be your own motherfucking niggas.
Wow. Okay, now I'm angry.
Right.
Okay, let's go.
I just want to say
that's the
too
discourse
that,
for another week.
Oh, huh? What?
No, I just said that's a discourse for another week.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
No, I just want to say too that we're all learning, and I think that's what this episode is coming down to. And even though there's still things now that I'm like unlearning and calling myself out about, and other people calling me in too. So don't be so hard on yourself, but also don't not be critical, I guess. Like, you should be critical, but also like your intention should not be to drag someone. Like, ask yourself, what are you doing? Like, just call them in. You don't have to like embarrass anybody or do it out of malice. Like, you can just.
Well, sometimes it calls for it, but
right.
Go off.
I mean, I guess if you can't get through to that, or that person's just not listening, then yeah, feel free to drag somebody. But if you can really make the effort, I would go that route first. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to make a mistake, because honestly, we all make mistakes. It's really not the mistakes that you make. It's how you respond to the mistakes.
Right.
That's a word. That's a word.
That is a word.
That's what I always value. Like when somebody fucks up, I don't mind their fuck up so much as I mind the way that they respond to that fuck up, or me acknowledging saying something about that fuck up.
Yeah.
So that's all.
All right. So
That's that on that.
with that, we're gonna move on to the mail of Claire. So we'll see y'all in a minute.
Hello and welcome back to Podcast of Kalak. And we're here with the mail. So from Zis Persin, we have what's up, trash bags? Zis Persin. What's up, trash bags? If you could build a dream concert lineup with 3 musical acts, who would you choose?
Ooh.
Any person or group, dead or alive, a group counts as one slot. My ideal concert would start off with Jimi Hendrix, then Nina Simone, and Beyonce.
Oh.
And Jimmy said he'd do his own version of Don't Hurt Yourself. Ooh, wow. Okay, bitch.
Come on.
Yeah, you might have just did something. During Beyonce's set, Nina would come out and do a piano ballad of one of Beyonce's songs, and then Beyonce will sing one of Nina's songs. Ooh,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Take my money.
You put some
Thought into that, yeah.
Right?
This is gay cello.
Ooh.
On the run, found dead in the ditch.
What are y'all's answers?
I would do Beyonce, Prince, and Michael Jackson. I would absolutely die. I regret not seeing Prince or Michael when they were alive. But I think that like a Beyonce, Michael Jackson, like a Thriller into like Ring the Alarm, or like Thriller into like Don't Hurt Yourself, or like
that would be awesome.
Or like a Formation into like Billie Jean or something like that. Wig off, and maybe like I think that'll be it. And then oh my god, like Purple Rain and like 1+1. Oh.
Okay, mine is Janet Jackson with fuck, why am I like blanking on her name? And I just literally
ASMR the Chew. It'd be a great concert.
Yes. Oh my god. You would just be on the ground in pleasure.
ready to have a good time today?
Throw some pickles out into the audience.
Yes.
Oh god.
It'd just be like,
so. Janet Jackson, Janelle Monáe, and that's who I was trying to think of. And I was gonna throw in Bruno Mars as a joke, but let me not.
I would pay to see Bruno Mars.
I would not. Third person.
A menage.
I don't want to use somebody you used already. You already used Beyonce and Michael Jackson and Prince. And Tina Turner.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Tina
Yeah.
Turner.
And then and like Janet would like dance to some of Tina's ballads.
That's shade.
Not ballads, but yeah.
Not that she would duet.
No,
she would dance.
would. No, they would not do a duet, but there would be a dance. That wouldn't be a good duet, sis. Like she would overpower her. And that's not shade. We know who has a very strong voice and we know who has a very light voice. Janet Jackson is very talented, but Tina's voice will overpower her.
So will mine. Apparently, if it's Janet Jackson. Let me stop.
Why you gotta shade the queen?
I'm not.
See?
Because she scammed her fans into a tour that never happened. That's all.
Okay. Well, she got pregnant by a billionaire. What would you do?
So John, what would you like to see?
I was gonna say Missy Elliott.
Ooh.
And then Donna Summer and Carly Rae Jepsen, because I'm really upset that I missed her.
Oh, could you imagine Donna Summer and Carly Rae Jepsen doing a
disco
wig?
Okay, did you hear that her next album's supposed to be very disco? So I'm excited
Yes, that's
about
why I screamed at her at the concert. There was someone that said, "Release the album!"
Bye.
I mean,
That's amazing. That was a great question. I love those little fun questions
good
like that.
question.
Okay, so this person says, "Hey, I just listened to the new episode, and damn, things got real. I love this podcast. Can you talk about Fleetwater? I love that you can talk about Fleetwater 1 minute and then later transition into a very serious topic. Abuse is real, and we usually make excuses for it. I really think you should read this article. This is really for the blacks. I can say that because I'm black. It's good and make you think about your family and how slavery and colonialism made black families beat their kids. Oh, I'm going to look into this. It's from the New York Times. They had some bonus, some like fire round questions. So I'm going to ask them really quick.
Okay.
Straight women in queer spaces. I generally don't care that much as long as they're not like doing too much, but there's no way to really tell. A lot of women are queer and you have no way to know.
Yeah, I don't care. Just don't touch my hair and don't say girl to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't grope me, because that happens a lot.
I mean,
Misogyny in the... What?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of obvious sometimes when it's like a bachelorette party and it's like a bunch of girls and they're all like, yes, and they're all like wearing penis hats and sucking from penis straws. And I'm like, why are you at the gay bar? I mean, I know why, but let's prioritize LGBTQ people first.
Yeah. Okay, misogyny in the gay community.
Well,
it's real.
Well, I just talked about mine in the last section, so
yeah,
drag me.
It's a thing. It's not good. I don't know. I don't know what else
I mean, myself.
Es malo.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens? Yes.
No.
No,
you don't.
Wow, I never pegged you as a non-alien believer, John.
I mean, I've never been pegged, but
oh God.
I believe
You've never been. Bye.
I mean, not that I'm not open to it, but I believe in like
To aliens or pegging?
pegging
Or
but,
being pegged by an alien?
Oh my God.
Oh wow, being
really
pegged
mad.
by an alien.
I mean,
that actually might be kind of cool.
I believe that there's a lot of species that we haven't discovered yet, like in the ocean, that are like probably aliens. I don't know, but
I don't think that's how that works.
no,
I think that I don't know. That works, right?
But aliens,
if they're they're alien to the land,
aren't aliens
above the
someone
sea
people
level.
that are not Father God? I've been listening to too much news. Aren't aliens things that aren't from the planet?
I don't know. I don't know the definition, and I don't feel like looking it up. So I believe in aliens. That's
well, what if it landed here? Okay, anyway, yeah, I just
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay.
Mark has a story actually, so I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I'll have him tell it to you guys later. Okay, so next question. America is crumbling and you have to migrate to another country. Where would you move? For me, it would either be Spain, Barcelona in Spain, or Amsterdam,
England or Japan?
the Netherlands. John?
Well, because I'm so jaded from my job, I think anywhere with universal healthcare will be fine with me.
So
as long
Canada.
as I can get,
Well, you don't want to live in like Sweden or Norway though, because they get it's like dark for 2 hours in a day during the summer, and it's like sunlight for 2 hours in a day during winter and
right.
fall. So.
But can I
Trash.
break a bone and still be taken care of? I mean, that's like what I'm really worried about.
That's fair. Did you have more confidence when you were younger? What changed? I mean, puberty. Honestly, I had so much more confidence before I hit puberty than I have since I went through it.
I would say I have more confidence now, and that's because I stopped looking at people and comparing myself to people who I thought were better than me because of looks.
Joel?
I embraced my femininity. I think I became more confident once I started hating myself.
Go off.
Also, I'm
go
confident when I look at my resume.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, come through.
Come
Okay.
on.
Do you have any phobias? Example, spiders. Yes, I have arachnophobia. I hate spiders, and I'm terrified of heights.
But you live in New York. Garbage.
Yeah, but I live on the first floor.
Oh.
Don't get it twisted.
What's yours, John?
It's a heterophobia, but that's sort of a joke. Sort of a joke. Yeah, I'm scared of bugs. Like, you know, if you watch, what's that called? When they make you do stuff for money? Fear Factor. I always hated the eating bugs challenges because I would never.
Mine are, I would say, I have 3 or 4 maybe. Grasshoppers, heights. No, 3. Grasshoppers, heights, and flying.
What?
I
Interesting.
hate grasshoppers. I like.
Interesting.
Like I just. I want.
So you
okay.
don't like Mulan or Pinocchio?
What, grasshoppers?
Because there's a little.
Yeah, the
Oh wait,
little grasshopper thing.
That's
in Mulan.
that's a cricket.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So
Oh.
you're fine with crickets. You just grasshopper.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why, and please don't laugh at me. I don't know if I've told you the giant grasshopper story, but I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
So the long story short is, when I was younger, I used to water my mom's rose garden, and one day when I was out there watering it, this giant grasshopper that was the size of like a chair jumped.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. See, that's why I don't tell the story, because no one believes me. No one believes me. Why would I make this up?
a chair.
It was the size of a chair, and it
No.
jumped.
Sorry.
You know what? I'm done. No, I'm done.
I'm googling the biggest grasshopper because that don't sound realistic to me.
I saw what I saw.
The grasshopper jumped.
They
out.
are. What is 75G?
Huh?
They can weigh over 75G
Grams.
I don't know.
Oh my god, bitch!
I saw one,
No. Okay, bitch. I believe you now.
and I,
oh my god,
Baze, I ran, and I don't know.
Oh my god! I just googled it too. Holy shit!
No, thank you.
My nigga gene was activated because I ran and hopped a fence. I didn't even know I could jump that high. I like it's like, you know, like in X-Men, like where they're like under like really high stress, like their like X gene activates. That's exactly what happened. Like I hopped over a fence and I like banged on the door, and my mom let me in, and I was like, "There's a giant grasshopper in the backyard." So I hate them.
I take my
no.
I
I didn't
believe in
even. Oh, you
aliens.
live in the valley. That's why.
Thanks for telling
So,
them where
okay.
the fuck I live.
Girl, everybody knows you from the valley. Everybody knows you a valley girl.
Oh,
But oh my god, I didn't say
Just
that.
like everybody knows I live in the Heights. I forgot where John lives. I would expose him too. I forgot what that area is called. Okay, so if you're in a relationship, do you think it's okay for your partner to go through your phone? I mean, not without their permission, but I don't have anything to hide, so I don't really care.
I don't know, actually. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, without my permission, no.
No, definitely not without your permission. But
Yeah.
with it, I mean, sure, I wouldn't care if Mark looked through my phone.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you got shit to hide, I don't imagine. Well, I don't know.
I have to
Consent
plead the fifth on that
universal.
one for reasons.
Okay.
John?
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, yeah, without my consent first, but
Yeah.
I think like, what are you doing first? Like, if you're going on my phone
Yeah.
to like play some music or whatever, that's fine. But if you're trying to find something, my philosophy is if you're looking for trouble, you're always going to find it. And so
Right.
whether or not it's something real, like if you find nothing, you're going to make it something because that's your intent, is to like stir something. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Okay, so next question. Can you name something that people appropriate from your... Oh, this is the last one. Can you name something that people appropriate from your own culture that really pisses you off? I mean, I'm starting to get used to it. I just see so many white people with dreads and braids and shit. But, I mean, it still makes me roll my eyes and they still stink. So, I don't know. There's nothing else I can really think of off the top of my head.
I'm gonna agree. I don't really care at this point. Like, I'm just gonna laugh at you and say you look dumb, so it doesn't really bother me. But I would say dreads too, or I guess, no, I guess dreads, and that's pretty much it.
Joel?
I don't think Filipino culture is that mainstream for people to be appropriating, but I think just Asian cultures in general, I'm tired of like Asian calligraphy tattoos or like wearing like Mandarin collars when you shouldn't probably be wearing that out somewhere. Like when Katy Perry did her old geisha thing, I was like, what are you doing?
A Mandarin collar. I'm looking that up.
Wait, are Mandarin collars problematic?
Is
that it? Is that problematic? I didn't know that.
actually, you're right. Maybe I should have.
When there's like,
No, you tell us shit. If we being problematic, I actually really like that collar, and I think it looks. Really
I
great,
own several Mandarin collars. So.
No,
there's
there's a way to do it. Like if it's a collar, like there's the grandfather collar or collarless collar, but like specifically the Mandarin like Asian style, like when it's
then no. Okay.
You know, there's like a specific cut, and I don't know.
Good to know. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for that. They just said thank you for making this podcast. I listen every week because I walk to work and it makes walking up a big ass hill less of a bitch. I'm a bi woman who used to only have queer friends, but we had a huge blowing out, so I can only have straight friends, so I need this podcast. Keep doing what y'all are doing. P.S. Stop picking on John.
Oh. Who is picking? I'm tired of this. I'm tired. Baze and I get picked on too. Okay?
It's
We have
okay.
feelings too. We're people. All y'all do is protect John. We love John. We're here too.
John and Renee. I swear to God, y'all be trying to protect everybody from the blacks.
They are
like
grown. They
angry.
are grown as we are.
They're older than us.
Protect us.
We're the babies.
No, listeners, stay protecting me. That's true. You guys are the babies. Aw.
Black Lives Matter.
Oh God. Okay. So from Alex, who is a friend of mine. I love you, Alex. They said they just finished listening to last week's episode. They said since we were talking about ways to discipline kids without like hitting them. There's a technique called love and logic, and it's 90% how my parents raised me, but I also grew up in a working class white household with a stay-at-home mom because that was what you did back then. The focus is basically on teaching kids from the start that actions have logical, proportional, consistent, and nonviolent consequences. I only ever got hit a couple of times by my parents, but it's something they regret because it's like by the time you're so frustrated or angry at a kid that you want to hit them, that's when you really shouldn't be laying hands on them at all. Also, You're all beautiful. Heart emoji. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they send a link, and it's www.loveandlogic.com. I love that concept.
I love
it. I think the idea that you talk to children and you help them understand, like obviously they're not going to understand it in the way that an adult does, but like if there's the easy way to make your children like understand how things work. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Also, and honestly, having your parents be disappointed in you is so painful.
It truly is. My mom said that once, and I said, "You might as well have just got the bell." I said, "Can we switch because this is trash?" I mean, no.
Okay.
Yikes.
So this person says, "Hey, trash bags. If you had a Freaky Friday experience with each other for a week, what would you all do as the others and why?" If I was Rakeem, I would just hit up. I would. I don't know what I would. I think if I was Rakeem, I just would like hit up all the famous people that Rakeem knows because
Who do I know that's famous?
You know people, bitch. I don't want to name drop for you.
Oh my
you know
God.
I don't want to embarrass you, but you know people, sis. I would just, you know what? I would just bask in like Rakeem's successes. That's what I would do. Because you like are so accomplished and I really like admire you so much.
Thank you. Are we just picking one person that we would?
Oh, we can go with everyone else. If I was Renee, I would just try to. If I was Renee, I would really like go and just see how like that 24-hour fitness
Stop.
steam room is.
Stop it. Oh my God.
I really would. I think I would have different. I think Renee is much more uninhibited than I am, and I don't know if that would like if I would feel that lack of I guess I don't know if I would feel that freedom if I was him, but I would want to experience that because just because I get like really anxious and I can't necessarily like enjoy a lot of things that Renee is able to enjoy, and I would probably like go and enjoy that.
I could not.
And if I was John, I would like really relish being 6 feet plus.
Okay.
What?
He's like, that's it. Like,
Yeah. Like,
No, that's not it.
Cool, girl. Just put on some heels and call it a day.
I would. Okay, can I finish? Damn, like y'all not even letting the bitch finish. Damn. And then I would just like I would try to really get where you come from because you are just so sweet and like you don't seem to have social anxiety, so I would just go and do things by myself, which I never want to do. Like I never want to go to social events by myself, but I would just go to a bunch of social events by myself.
Oh. Huh.
You seem to do really well when you're like, you know what I mean? Like you always seem to make friends.
I was going to say that about you. Wait, can I go now since you went through everybody?
yeah.
I was going to say if I was Baze, I would just go out and like basically walk around naked. Like
why not do it now?
I mean, like, you know, when you go to all these parties, I'm like, why think of an outfit when I can just show up in just my underwear? It'd be fine.
Shade, but yes.
Wow. Okay.
No. No, and then like because you always talk about like how shy you get, like and like basically you're saying for me what I'm saying
bitch, my personality, your personality with
exactly
with my beauty.
Yeah.
Oh bitch, yeah.
Like if my personality in Baze's body, like just walking around and like just wilding out, like I don't know, I would do it.
I almost made a really slut shamey joke, and I'm not going to because growth.
Go ahead and do it.
No, I'm not.
What? Do it. Say it.
I was gonna say, John's personality in Baze's body means trips to the clinic, but I'm not going to.
Oh, you know what? Though that's probably true.
I mean,
it's probably true.
I'm taking trips to the clinic now, so whatever. Yeah, I like to drag. On Podcast of Color, we like to drag ourselves. I mean, I do.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus.
Okay, so is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
No. You have to do.
John you have John was me.
And,
okay.
And you.
Oh no, yeah. I guess for Rakeem, I would do the same thing. Baze said was like I would fucking hang out with famous people all the time.
I'm more than my resume. I'm a person.
No, and like I don't know, just to be
I'm
like
kidding.
have
I'm
access
kidding.
to like just be in the art world and like make cool stuff all the time and just like I don't know, that's not the world I'm in, and so I think it's just really interesting to do that, like to go to shows and like curate shit and like people trust you to do that.
People recognize you. Like
Yeah.
I will literally be talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh, I love podcasts. Oh, are you on Podcast of Color? I love Rakeem."
Yeah, people will come up to me
Like,
and they'll be like,
bitch,
"Aren't you friends with
wait,
Rakeem?"
wait.
Like,
John, shut up. Because
that happened. We know that happened to us. They're like, "Hey, you're friends with Rakeem. You're on his podcast." Like, yeah. his podcast.
That is what they said. I'm sorry.
And then
so I'm gonna go now because this is awkward. So
No way, he didn't do Renee. John, you didn't do Renee.
no, I mean Renee is in the Bay Area, which like I love, and Renee gets is like doing something that I want to do, which I haven't done yet, which is like continue higher education and like and also just to be in spaces like to have the sort of friends that Renee talks about. And I think I've mentioned this before, like Renee has like a really tight group of friends, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had that sort of friend group, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
You do. You have us, I thought.
Well-
anyway.
I know what you mean, John.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I get it. Okay, so since this is going long, I'll be quick. So if I were John,
Dimmy.
there's a few things I would want to do. Honestly, one, I would love to feel like I would go up and just full beat, like a full beat face, because I'm not like that.
A full beat face.
Yeah, I'm not confident enough to do that yet, and I just love the confidence that you exude, even though you might not feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think it would be really cool to work in the medical field.
Oh.
And kind of like see what that's like, because I'm always on the opposite side, and I'm
could
curious to
switch
see like
right
how
now.
that world works. What?
I said we could switch right now. I'm kidding.
Oh, girl. And then if Renee, I think the thing with Renee that I really, really admire is like his frame of mind and his mindset and how like confident he is in his beliefs at like a younger, he was so set in his beliefs like in a younger age, and I didn't like form a lot of myself until like the last like 1 to 2 years. So I think it would have been nice to like grow up with that and like, I don't want to say be exposed to the things that Renee's been exposed to, but like learn the lessons that Renee has been exposed through. Because I really think that he brings like such great like perspective and like life experience to things. And I'm kind of not, I don't want to say jealous if that's the right word, but I'm kind of like, I admire the like wisdom that he brings to things. And with Baze, I would.
I was gonna say, I think we're both thinking it, Rakeem, but I didn't want to say it.
What were you gonna say?
Oh wait, never mind.
What, Mark?
Yes,
I can.
So that's why you guys want to be.
I did not. I did not. Wow,
mean,
I was not
what?
thinking that. So that's gonna end this week's episode of Podcast of Color.
Wow. Wait, I actually just want to do a disclaimer really quickly. I shouted out that article on Into, and I actually read the whole thing, and yay! I don't want to have my name attached to that. So let me just say, read at your own discretion. It was a white gay wrote it, and they kind of center themselves a lot in the article. It's like actually not a bad article, but you know, there are some things that I didn't love about it. So let me just remove my
Self.
take yourself out of this.
No,
Narrative.
not myself. Remove my my endorsement.
Baze's stamp of
I
approval.
do not approve this message.
My name is Baze, and I do not approve the message that I said
The
in the last.
disclaimer jumped out.
We will not have it.
We will not have it.
We will not have it.
But I'll really quickly base. No, honestly, like I would actually love like to like braid your like have your closet, because I don't know if I've told you this, but I low key when I pick out outfits, I try to go what would Baze wearing, and it like always fails because my pieces are really boring. Like I just own a bunch of shirts without
just let me
sleeves
go
and then
shopping with
pants.
you.
So, but
Girl,
Come
let
on,
me just
mass
go
culture.
shopping with you.
yeah,
And
but,
also, your outfit is your fashion is always on point, sis. I don't know what you're talking about.
we'll talk about it later. But anyway, okay, so
Yeah.
thank y'all for listening to Podcast of Color this week. I just quickly wanted to say thank you.
Oh God, here we go. God damn it!
First of all, I just want to thank.
You know what? Just
I just want to thank God above all others.
I just quickly wanted to say thank you to the 1650 Gallery, because this Saturday on March 24th from 7:30 to 10:30 I will be there because I have 2 pieces in a photography show called Together. And so if you want to come see that, I'll be there. And then I also want to say thank you to Daddy Issue Zine, because I got my issue and he surprised me by putting my picture on the second page of the centerfold. So I'm really, really excited about that. So thank you so much. And also I updated my website. So if y'all want to see it, I'll link it in the description. And I'm really excited about it. Been working on it for 2 weeks for like 3 hours a day. So I'm very excited about it. So yay.
Baze, do you have anyone to thank or shout out?
I just want to
I'm sorry.
I just want to thank God first and foremost for giving me this talent. I don't know why he gave this to me. I would like to thank the customer yesterday who coughed in my face. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciated that. I feel like I'm dying. I may have the plague. Thank you so much. I just really I just love and appreciate all of you. Thank you, and all of the fans. That's really who I do this for. I do it for the fans. Thank you. No, honestly, I do want to shout out. I just want to shout out and again thank the Poppy Juice Boys and the people at Bubble Tea, the runners of Bubble Tea. Just thank you guys for creating these spaces. Like honestly, I get so much like life from these events. It's just so reinvigorating.
If you're listening, please come to LA.
It's so re-energizing to be in spaces like that. Like it's just so great, and it's not something I did find at all really in LA. So like I do really appreciate having that here. And yeah, that's it. And thank the listeners as always, and thank you for everybody that came up to me. And yeah.
All right. So with that, we will see y'all next week on episode 49.